Hey, welcome to another episode of Conversations with TMN. In this episode, Sandhya Valecha and I talk to Prabu Das, who is the CEO and founder of PickMyAd.com. PickMyAd is a revolutionary platform that's changing the influencer marketing game in India. And to know more about PickMyAd and how it's impacting and changing and revolutionizing the influencer marketing space in India, watch this conversation with Prabu Das.
Hi Prabhu, welcome to the Conversations with TMN.
Hi Sandhya, pleasure meeting you guys. Hey Karan,
Hey
hope things are
Prabu,
going well on your end.
great to have you.
Amazing, it's my pleasure.
A lot of our viewers will be excited about this video in particular because it has to deal with influencer marketing, and we have a lot of clients, especially in the e-com space, who do a lot of influencer marketing. We manage their influencer marketing campaigns, so I am personally excited to talk about this and to talk about your platform as well.
That's amazing. Yeah, definitely. So, PickMyAd is the company's name. So we are PickMyAd Solutions Private Limited. So we are based out of Chennai. As you said, we are in the influencer marketing space. We are creating a marketplace for influencers where the brands can book the influencers. So it's let's put it this way. PickMyAd is like BookMyShow for influencer marketing or Redbus for influencer marketing. So normally in BookMyShow, what you do is you select a theater
Right.
and you select a movie and then you select a date and then you reserve your spot, right?
Correct.
Similarly here, the brands that are signing up in our platform can filter out the influencers based on their category, like the language or the followers count or the category of the influencer. And we have a different set of categories, or you want male influencers or female influencers, so you can segregate the influencers that you would like to work with based on your brand's requirement. And you can see the list of all influencers in the platform that have joined us, and you will be able to see their availability based on the slots. So if you click on a particular influencer's profile, you can see the dates on which they are planning to release their upcoming videos. So as a brand, now you know something like this influencer is going to do 5 different videos down the line.
Right.
And you can see different dates, and you click on a particular date, you will see the ad type the influencer is willing to do and how much he's charging for that particular ad type. And then as a brand, you can also segregate based on your budget. You can filter out based on your budget constraints, and you can directly select that particular slot and click on book influencer. It will take you to the payment gateway, and you make the payment and you reserve that influencer for your brand promotion. On the other hand, the influencer will receive a request, like there is a booking request from the brand, and the influencer will be able to see all the details about the brand, the kind of promotion the brand is looking to collaborate with, and the influencer can make a choice whether they can go ahead with with the brand, or they can also reject the offer, because there are certain influencer who doesn't want to work with some
brands.
particular category
Correct.
of brand because it might not be a perfect suit for their channel and the content they provide. So we still provide the influencer an option to accept or reject.
Great.
So in case, let's say the influencer did not accept the offer, the amount will immediately be refunded back
Back
to
to
the
the client
brand.
or the brand.
So here PickMyAd acts like an escrow where we maintain the payment safely. So the brand will make the booking, influencer will accept it, and the influencer will complete the paid promotion and publish the video.
Right.
And the influencer will submit it in the platform, and they will claim their money.
So you
If the
mentioned
work is not
escrow,
there,
right? The
the money will
query.
be again immediately
Right.
returned back to the brand. I'm sorry.
It just the thought just struck me. You mentioned escrow, so it's like Upwork, how Upwork it is for freelancers in writing, video editing, etc. So do you charge a percentage? If yes, how much?
Exactly. So our business revenue model is 10% from every brand. So when the brand is making a booking, whatever the transaction amount, we take 10% as our service fee. So the price, whatever the influencer is, listing, it's their own price. So we don't work on the pricing.
Right.
So the influencer, it's their choice. They can charge as per their the popularity of their channel, based on the demand they have in the market.
Awesome.
So it's a freedom that we give to the influencer to choose or decide how much they want to charge.
Alright, so you're
we
not
are
charging
creating a
anything to the influencer, right? You're only charging the brands.
We are charging 10% from the influencers as well. So
Okay, so 10% from the brand.
20%
Right.
overall. Yeah.
So,
Okay.
what made you decide that, hey, I need to create a platform for influencer marketing? What was that moment? Did you see a pain in the market?
Yeah, so I wouldn't say I saw pain, I saw a gap in the market, of
Right.
course. Myself and one of my co-founders, so we are 4 co-founders, and one of my co-founders who is our CTO, so we worked together for more than 6 years. So we all 4 studied together we did our UG together 2007 to 10. So that's how we got connected. So we are
Right.
more than 13 years, of
Wow.
relationship. So myself and my CTO used to work for the same company for more than 6-7 years, and we used to stay in the same mansion, same house, and travel together back and forth. So we used to discuss a lot. We during the bike, travel to the office, right? That time, we used to brainstorm a lot of ideas. During the weekends, we all 4, do a lot of brainstorming. But none of the project that we discussed we didn't start our operation or get involved in doing something. And I used to in Chennai in OMR. If you come here in Old Mahabalipuram Road, which is the IT Expressway, you will see a lot of lampposts. Every lamppost will have some advertisement being posted. So that's where I got this inspiration. First of all, I saw there is a huge market for marketing or branding.
Right.
And then I was thinking of different idea, and that was a time when Geo started. People started using Geo, and so thanks to Geo, everybody started creating their YouTube channel, and the number of YouTube channels being created started hiking, right?
Right.
So I saw there is a connection. These people are influencing well. Anything that the influencers say, their followers are following blindly.
Correct.
I used to read the comments in every videos, whatever that I watched. That that made me become little curious about what exactly is happening behind the scene. And then finally I came with this idea, there is something called the branding or marketing, being done offline. People still can use these people as potential, because normally, if you look at Blogspot,
Right.
you do Google AdSense, because people read that, come to that page and read the content, and in the meantime, you also push some advertisement.
Correct.
And you make some money. So that's the Google's monetization method, right? And here, I was trying to correlate the same thing with the influencer space. So that's how I started, myself and my CTO started, connecting marketing with influencers. And then surprisingly, we found we are too late to identify we didn't even know this term influencer marketing, first of all.
Right.
That's when, after doing a lot of research, we found, okay, this is already there for more than 7 years, and we are too late. But then we started exploring different options, different companies that are providing this service, and we saw the same pattern being followed by every influencer marketing agencies or every influencer marketing companies. They work on a campaign model, right? So
Right.
it's similar to Upwork, wherein brands will say, hey, I have this requirement.
Correct.
Is anybody willing? Please go out and apply for this. And then the influencer will go and apply for the campaign. And then finally the brand will have a list of application. They will select someone and do the campaign. Here, are the brands able to target and pick the right influencer they would like to work, or they have to choose someone from the application they receive? So the obvious answer is the second
Right.
one, right? So they receive 10-20 application, but they cannot be sure whether the expected influencer is applying for this campaign or not,
Right.
right? So they have a 10 or 20 application with which they have to finalize someone. There is no other go. They have to work with that influencer. So there is no escrow being maintained in almost many of the influencer marketing campaigns. So that's when we thought different models, and finally we came up with this idea like, why don't we let the brand cherry pick the influencer they would like to work, right? So we onboard all the influencers once, right? Where the influencer will list out their slots availability, they'll be ready. So the influencer also won't have the pain in applying for different campaigns again and again, right? You click on a campaign, open, and then you say, hey, I can do this, that, and then you submit it, and then you open another campaign and you apply for it. Luckily, you will get some brand picking you up, right?
Right.
Here, we tell the influencer, hey, go on and create a slot, just wait. Let the brands pick you, right? Like let the brands review your details, like look at your profile, your work you've done, and they will directly click on book slot, make the payment. So it's just 3 steps, your work is done. So for the brand also, they have the leverage to cherry pick or to find the right target influencer they have in their mind to work with.
Right.
So that's the gap like we thought we'll fix, and we also maintain this escrow service where the payment is being handled safely. So only when the work is done, the payment will be released. If the work is not done on the promised date, it will be refunded back to the brand. So at least in a worst case scenario, the brand's money is safe, so they still can book someone else or they can work with other influencers. And down the line, we are planning to connect the influencers with the brand wherein they can even chat. They can, if the influencer has any question, clarity needed, they can chat and get the clarifications done.
So with this model, I have a lot of questions because I extensively work with influencers, and one of the challenges that we face for our e-commerce clients is when we reach out to an influencer directly. A lot of times they have a manager, and then they go speak to the manager, and then it's a hassle speaking to the manager because they talk about obnoxious rates. They send those commercials which have no match to the market. So I think that's one problem that you're solving. But when I see that you're solving that problem, aren't you worried that when you're connecting a brand directly to an influencer, then once they complete one project successfully, the next time they might directly start talking, which may hamper your revenue. So how are you covering that aspect?
Yeah, so this is one question I think probably almost every founder that are creating marketplace business model will be facing. So yeah, similarly we've also thought about it. Initially when we planned, we never had a plan of having these people connected. We just want to create the list of ad types. We've curated different type of ads.
Right.
So every ad type will explain what exactly the work needs to be done. For example, there is an ad type called Preroll video.
Right.
Which means the brand has to provide a video that will be integrated at the beginning of whatever content influencer is going to publish and go live. So there is no need for communication at all, because the brand knows he has to submit a video and the influencer knows he has to receive a video and integrate it. Right?
Correct.
So likewise, we've carefully curated like around 10 type of ads, wherein the each and every ad type will have its own explanation, and you will, by reading the ad type and the description, you will know what will be the outcome of that particular ad, right?
Right.
So that's how we first initially designed the system, and then we started our operations like around 1.5 months back. So we've started because we start getting a lot of inquiries. Still, the platform wasn't ready at that time. We just had the MVP being launched, the very beta version, and we have our sales team internally. So we started handling the deals manually. We started talking to the influencers and get a list of influencer list and send it to the brand with the pricing, and then the brand like an agency.
Right.
We did it manually. That's when we understood that is still, even though you do something, the brands are looking something like dedicated video or customized video promotion apart from these integrated ads, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes the brand wants the influencer to speak about the product and explain what exactly the product is doing. Or for example, there is a mobile app that the influencer needs to explain. So he has to say how to use the app, how to install, and that kind of information. So here the influencer, we can't expect every influencer to be clever enough to understand what exactly the brand is doing. So definitely they need some inputs from the brand, what exact word they need to use, that kind of situation. That's when we thought, okay, it's better, because if you put a translator in between, like having an employee handling this and that, still this employee miss out few points from the brand.
Correct. There could be miscommunication. Right.
So that is one big pain we had. Like it's better that they talk to each other,
True.
they get the work done, instead of having some middleman being translating things. So coming to your question, so will they work again directly with that influencer? Every marketplace definitely has this kind of spillover. Even with Upwork, there are still
Correct.
people who go out and work together, but
True.
initially they will be working within the platform only.
Yeah.
But in our platform, people going out and working with the same influencer is very less, because as a brand, let's say I have selected an influencer and I've done the work. Again, there is no point in giving my same product to the same influencer to promote to the same audience, right?
Makes sense.
I've already captured that audience.
Right.
I want to go to another influencer who has a different set of audience. So as a brand, I want to cover different people, different audience, different regions, different language. So going back to the same influencer and doing things is very less. Still, there are chances the money, like they get the work, but delivery gets delayed, or they don't even deliver things. At that point in time, your money is wasted.
Right.
At worst case, we have the money safe. You still can claim your refund. So these are the couple of main reasons why we still think it's okay for the brands to directly, interact with the influencers.
Makes sense. I just have one follow-up question to
Yeah.
that, if I can. So now, while you're solving a good problem, that the money for the client is safe, because a lot of times the work doesn't get delivered as per the standards expected. So as a client, I know that, hey, if that doesn't happen, I can reach out to you and you would mediate and refund my money. So second challenge that I see a lot of times is with influencers. You see a lot of bots on the account, right? There are a lot of fake followers, and even YouTube views are purchased. So how are you vetting the influencers to determine which views are real, how many real followers? Even on reels, you see people buy reels for I think 50 to 100 rupees, and they get million views now. So how do we, how do you ensure that the vetting is done correctly, so that the brand is actually getting real views from real people and they're not bots?
So that as of now, there is no tools. Even YouTube is not able to
Correct.
find that,
True.
right? Otherwise they would block it. So what we promise is, like, we make the influencer to link their account in our platform. So when they
Okay.
join, when they sign up, they have to connect their YouTube channel in the platform by providing their credentials. We've got approval from YouTube, like, we got the API access.
Right.
And YouTube completely audited our platform, and that's how we got the access. So one thing we can promise is, this is not a fake channel, or someone else is not using someone else's channel, like just copying the channel's URL and creating their own account. So
Right.
we will not have that problem. So there is no way there will be a duplicate channel here. As an influencer, I'm joining, I have to connect my channel. That's it. It's my unique channel that I have to connect. So by that way, we ensure this is original channel. He's the real owner of the channel. And like every brand that comes to our platform, they will normally see in the profile, like we will show what are the latest videos the influencer has. Every influencer will be given a public profile. When
Okay.
they onboard, we'll generate a public profile which will have the basic statistics, their latest video, their YouTube channel's performance, metrics,
Right.
everything will be there in the public profile. By looking at it, the brand can see the performance of that channel, right? So when you look at a channel, you can, as a human, you can easily identify,
Correct.
this is something, the channel is really making some traction. If you click on the comment itself, you read some 5-10 comments, you will easily identify this channel really is making some interactions and engagement
Right.
with these followers, right? So we facilitate this integration. We act like an aggregator, but we can't ensure because it's really hard, right? There is
True.
no way you can find it. They use some bot or not. We
Right.
still provide the option. So the service we offer is, we help you curate the influencer, discover the influencer, and book them. So the decision the brand has to make, whether
Correct.
this is real. We provide them the information, you review it,
Right.
and then you go and book it. You don't just go and blindly book just because we've shown the list of influencers, right?
Great.
So,
Well, yeah, I'm glad that at least you have the API from YouTube and you're doing that verification. So that's a big advantage.
So that initially we had struggled with that part. Day one you go and say, hey, I'm PickMyAd, come and link your channel. No one, was willing to do it. So we had to give some business before making the influencer to join. So that was the kind of pain we had initially. But now as we grow, like people started speaking about PickMyAd, and we really started having more influencers being on board every day. And currently we have more than 1,500 YouTubers on board the platform.
Great.
It includes the micro level, mega level, the macro. It's a collection of all sort of categories of influencers.
Wow, that's wonderful. So if I can use the crude e-commerce term, so that's a pretty huge inventory, 1,500 influencers. And are you investor funded, or is it bootstrap?
Like we've got a couple of tiny investments, I should say. We got 20 lakh grants from Startup India Seed Fund. That's one support we received from the government side, and then we raised a friends and family round wherein Justin, who is current COO of Ubiquity, it's an Amdocs company.
Right.
So he was a vice president of NBC Universal earlier. He was a former vice president. So who is a friend of mine who invested another 25,000 USD. Just as a friends and family round, he liked the idea, he wanted to encourage and want to support. So that's all we had. We haven't even started looking for investments yet, since we are still stabilizing the platform, making some tractions. Before presenting to the investors, one thing we are very sure is that we want to make some real numbers and we want to show them this thing works, right? So this thing works. So we are planning to go for a raise in a couple of months now. We are releasing our first version of our product this end of this month. So we currently rolled out the beta, and they made some good tractions. So based on the feedbacks we collected from our early adopters, we revamped the entire platform, and hopefully we are launching it at the end of this month. I mean, in a week now.
Pretty cool. And how many campaigns have you actually run on the platform so far?
We've made like 60 plus deals as of now, and there are a lot of startups based out of Chennai who were our early users who really supported us and trusting the platform. And HippoPay, which is a payment gateway based out of Chennai, they are one of our clients. And then JingleBit, an e-commerce platform. And there is another startup called 1 Hour Bazaar. And so these are all of few startups I remember now. So they are all our early users, and we have more than 35 brands that we work with. And that there are like crypto exchange platform called Geotas. They are based out of Chennai again.
Right.
And there is another shop or e-commerce SaaS platform called Boshak. So they are our customers. So these are all the names I remember immediately. So yeah, like it's 30 plus now. We are still talking to a few big brands, and we are in talk with Amazon. So things are going well.
Awesome. And since we have several digital marketing clients in various niches, and for those who are watching right now, the clients of ours or the viewers, so could you tell us what niches of influencers can they look out for who are already on your platform?
Yeah, that's a good question, Sandhya. So our initial focus is on the food industry. So anything that is related to food, we are immediately for onboarding influencers that are doing food reviews and then cooking channels. So that kind of influencers we are immediately focusing on. And secondly, our second target is on the fashion industry. So
fashion. Thank you for mentioning.
He's
got to say a lot about that.
We have 100 plus clients from the Surat and Ahmedabad marketplace in the fashion e-commerce space.
Yeah, so that's our second target. So first thing, since initially we started having these food influencers being on board and a lot of requirement from the food industry, like the masala companies or beverages. So we thought we will start with that and keep our focus in one stream. Early stage we can't
diversify
serve
too
everyone,
much.
right?
True.
Like you target different category of brands, then it's hard to provide different category of influencers. So we have it's a two-sided marketplace. So that's always a pain in every two-sided marketplace. But hopefully we have figured out a way to easily onboard influencers with the help of influencers itself. So that's our go-to-market strategy, and it really worked out well. We hired a few influencers with very less budget just to try out when we released our MVP beta version.
Right.
And we hardly spent like 10-15,000, I believe, and which made us get like more than 500 influencers being on board.
Wow.
So the influencers, they say, okay guys, that is a new way that you can earn money through YouTube, that kind of channels. So that really worked well. So that's our again our plan as a go-to-market strategy, because as a product we encourage influencer marketing, and again we have to use that product, right?
True.
So obviously, so that really works. That does marvels.
Great. And since you're almost kind of bootstrapped, so during the COVID period, it was tough for a lot of businesses. How did you manage to hire talent? Because one, I think the market was seeing a lot of rise in with the expectations, right? Talent were expecting a huge sal. So how did you go through that phase? Because you had to grow two sides, get influencers on board and then get brands on board. So then you had a double job. So how did you go about that?
Sure, Karan. I think this is the most important question in this entire session, right? Like the biggest challenge of any startup, especially post-COVID. Like we initially thought building the product will be the difficult thing, and then marketing it. But trust me, managing the team or hiring the team and setting up the foundation team is the biggest challenge, especially post-COVID. Like pre-COVID, the situation was normal. Post-COVID, you would have noticed the salary hike, right? Every company people started moving from one company to another.
True.
And during the COVID, a lot of work from home, like people had a lot of time to attend different interviews, and
Correct.
that really helped them a lot. Before, like if you go to office, you will never find a time, any time to attend interview, right?
Right.
Hardly you can take one day leave, and now it's nobody cares, or nobody even see what exactly you do, right? Or that it matters for the company is the work is being done every day. So this made situation easy for people to try out different companies, and the company started increasing the salary. The hype got increased. As a startup, it was very tough. Like an employee with 3+ years of experience started asking for more than 15 lakh an annum, like 20 lakh, 30 lakh, crazy. So definitely we could now afford even like we even came to a point saying that hey, this is the time, at least let's go and go back to work, so make some good money, and then come back to the business. So, just for fun, like we started thinking that way, and finally we came up with this idea. Okay, hiring an experienced resource is definitely not possible. So we started hiring freshers. Especially the playing with the freshers was like they hardly attended college for a year, and after that COVID 2 years they just played PUBG, spent time with Instagram, YouTube. That's it. So they were like freshers, like out of 12th grade, right? So you have to start from scratch.
Right.
So we hired few guys from the remote places who really has the need. So only requirement we had at that point in time is a person who has a real thirst or a quest to learn something and do something different. We didn't expect you should know something, but at least you have the interest to learn things faster, and that was the only requirement we had. No language test, nothing, no analytical test, nothing. So are you willing to learn? Are you willing to spend time day and night and learn things faster and get involved? And then we hired a PG here, and we paid the rent for the guys, and we even hired a guy from an orphanage, and he was there. Like he's still doing his final year, but we are paying him now. Like he started paying salary.
Wow.
He came out of the orphanage, and he's now staying with the guys in the PG together. So almost our half of the team is in the same PG now. So
Awesome.
now they've started, earning salary. Initially, we didn't provide salary; we just paid for the PG. Like being in a co-working space, we have to pay for every seater, and then we have to pay for the PG itself. Costed a lot for us, so we were not able to pay them the salary at that point. So first 3 to 4 months, like we just paid them the PG rent, and we took care of their little expenses
Right.
that we are able to, taking out for lunch or that kind of expenses, and for movies and kind of things. And now they've started making salary. That's how we built our founding team, or the initial foundation team. So the guys, they've started learning things, and now initially we had no process. Like normally when we develop software, we follow some process like agile or something. Initially there is no way, they don't even know how to develop things, and there is no point in asking them to complete things on time and follow the process. So we didn't maintain any process at all. All that we asked them to complete this feature, that's it, take whatever time it takes, we want this to be done. So that's how they started working on real-time project, and then we put them PickMyAd, and they started working, and now they've picked the pace. We started in implementing process. Now they understood. Like initially they had no idea what exactly this IT environment is, or this
Right.
ecosystem, right? So everywhere they're from the remote place, so they literally had no idea how this software thing works. So we had to be patient and wait, and give them enough time to learn. That's how we built the team. Now we are 16 plus. So that's the team size, which includes the developers, the digital marketers, the sales team, and then the founders. So all together. And last, like a couple months back, we went on our annual trip to Ooty.
Wow.
And that's how it's going right now.
Great. So, who do you consider your biggest competitor at this point? And what would be your differentiator from them?
I don't see any particular company as our only or a big competitor. Anybody that is any companies that are in the campaign model is maybe our competitors, I believe, because the model is the only difference that we are
Right.
making, because it's the same space. Influencer marketing, they also deal with influencers and brand promotion.
Correct.
But the model that we offer is, we are the first of its kind to provide a marketplace as a booking platform, or a discovery and booking platform. So that's our differentiator. Here you come, select the influencer, book the slot, and make the payment, and get the work done. Wherein with the campaigns, it will take a lot of time. Even if you go through an agency, or if you directly reach an influencer, it's definitely going to take at least a few weeks to get the work done. Just for getting yes or no, you will take at least a week.
Right.
You send an email, and then you wait, and then the influencer will be like, from their point, they receive hundreds of email every day. So for them, it's very difficult to differentiate the real brand or the scammers or the fake brands.
Right.
So here there is no pain at all. Like if they receive a booking, they'll receive a WhatsApp notification there is a booking. Please go and log in and see the dashboard. In the dashboard, so you'll see the booking request. They can accept or reject.
Right.
Because every brand that is onboarding our platform, they have to go through a KYC process.
Okay.
So we ensure this company is properly registered. They have GST, they have PAN, and we do some the KYC registration process. And then once they clear the KYC, they'll be able to discover all the influencers. So this way, on both sides, like the influencer should connect their channel to ensure they are the legit influencer, or they are the real owner of the channel.
Right.
On the other side, the brand, they have to submit their KYC. So both the ways, we are ensuring that we have people with quality being on board. So we provide a safest influencer marketing campaign.
Well, I think that's a really good point, because I was wondering, if there was no KYC, then a lot of people would just come, look at the rate, and then go to the influencer, give me some discount. So I think that's a good way to eliminate all the time wasters and scammers. So my next question would be, now since you're the first one to start this marketplace for influencer marketing, now there may be a lot of people in the marketplace, your competitors, looking at you very closely, and may possibly be reaching out to investors that, hey, why don't you fund us? These guys are moving ahead. We need to introduce a marketplace on our platform. and then the USP kind of loses its edge. So how do you plan on protecting those influencers who join your platform at this point and not getting lured away by another competitor who may offer better rates or possibly lure them with more clients initially and no commissions at the start?
Yeah, so we initially thought like we will do it with 0% to get more users on board. So we have different plans down the line. We haven't finalized that yet. We for now just kept as 10% from influencer and 10% from the brand. And coming to the competitors who can copy our platform, like one thing we are very sure is that they haven't seen the failures that we have gone through, and there are few elements that we haven't published yet. We kept that as
the secret sauce.
Until
Nice.
until we hit the market in real time. And we have a roadmap where we are planning different strategies to ensure the influencers are engaged in the platform. At least they should come to the platform once in a day. That's a minimum target. So based on that ideation, like we are creating different modules and engaging factors in the platform, which is for free, which will make influencers' life very easier.
Wow.
So that kind of thing will definitely ensure that the influencer staying in our platform, and which we haven't revealed yet. That we'll reveal one by one as we hit the market. And by the time we would have acquired the influencers already, and we would have them made benefited out of the platform. So yeah.
Wow, great. So I know there's a roadmap and there are already plans in place. So amazing. Where do you see this going ahead? I mean, what's the vision for this platform?
So the vision is like, obviously scaling up. So initially, like we want to roll out pan India. Like we are currently doing it in South. We just started with Tamil Nadu, and then we are moving on to our neighboring states, Telugu, Andhra and Kerala and Karnataka.
Right.
And that we've already started that journey. So in a couple of months, like we'll start our investment raising, fundraising, and our initial plan is to roll out pan India, and then move on to English-speaking countries like US, Australia, Canada. So that's our next target will be. That's in terms of scaling. And as we start acquire more influencers on board, we have different products in the pipeline, how we can leverage these users to use different products that is related to their own, related to the influencer marketing and stuff like that. So that's still in the ideation stage. So we have different products in the pipeline, which will be starting one by one. So initial plan is to acquire, user acquisition is our primary plan.
Great. And so with the 30 plus brands that you're currently working with, what's been the response like? Have they come back to you with a feedback, or so what's been their response?
Yeah, so the brands that we work with so far, they are pretty happy because they see the result in real time, right? So when the influencer promote their product, it really makes some traffic for them, and that really worked well. So that's why the brands that we are working, they come back to us repeatedly. So we tried speaking with few founders, and we really had an amazing feedback from them. They're pretty much happy. They are not even worried about paying this 10% extra, because that removes a lot of pain for them. Just paying this 10% really make their life easier. So from that point, we really had a very good response. And on the influencer side, there was an influencer who said like, hey guys, give me your phone number. I'll put that in my inquiry so that I stop receiving these unwanted messages and calls. You guys take care of it. You filter out the brand and then give me the right brand that I can. So that get us trust we started getting from the influencer side as well. So as we publish our platform, the first version, we should start seeing people using the platform without the help of the sales team or our support team, and that's the plan.
Great. And for brands who are watching right now, are you available both on Play Store and App Store?
We developed our mobile app, and we put that on hold. It's like 80% complete. The reason why was like there were a lot of changes that we've been continuously making, right? Like then it's a double effort. Then again, go out and change everything on mobile. So seeing that, we've said like, okay, fine, we'll put the mobile on hold. We'll complete the web app. Once the web app is ready, the APIs, everything will be ready there. So you just have to integrate the APIs and get the mobile app, which will take hardly 2-3 weeks to complete. So we have all the designs, everything is ready. So since we made some changes, we kept the mobile app on hold, and in a couple of months we should be able to launch the mobile app. So for now it's web app.
Great. Okay. And as a brand that's looking to disrupt the influencer marketing space, which markets or which segments or categories like fashion, travel, do you see being the most profitable ones in the influencer marketing space?
Yeah, rather than saying as a category, like I would defer to say like D2C, like now you can see a lot of D2C companies are raising, right? Like they are growing huge. So every D2C company, like influencer marketing is the best option for them to, because end of the day they want their product to directly reach the customer, right?
Correct.
So the only people who are directly connected with the customers are the influencers, like the YouTube channel owners, the Instagram account, Instagram creators. So they are the right people to target the right audience. So D2C on a high level, on an abstract level. When it comes to category wise, as you said, the fashion, food industry, these are all the prominent. So that's where we are heading towards. These two categories will be our immediate target, and then we have some niche categories. For example, let's say vegan. So for vegan category, this is the only way, and for agri-tech, there is no way they can do digital marketing, right? Because you want to target a farmer who doesn't use Facebook, who doesn't use Google. So there is no point in doing digital marketing for agri-tech products. If the farmers are your target, right? There are a lot of agri-tech product that integrates the farmers real time with the customers and all, right? So that kind of products, influencers, like every farmer nowadays, they started watching YouTube because there are a lot of agriculture channels. They give a lot of tips how to do better farming and all, right? So for the agriculture industry, influencer marketing is the only right platform for now. Maybe down the line, as people start using internet more frequently in the remote side of the village side, maybe the digital marketing might come up later, but influencer marketing is the right way to reach them immediately.
I also noticed that at this point, the major focus is to tie up with influencers who have YouTube channels. So when does Instagram influencer inventory start rolling in?
So Instagram will start rolling out by end of next month.
End of next month.
Guys are working on, the development is going on. So
And
we have YouTube ready.
Great. And also, are you looking at signing up influencers on exclusive deals with you? Is that also in the pipeline?
Yeah, like we haven't started that yet. Like maybe we have that in the list of our other ideas that we are planning to, but that's not immediate. So our immediate plan is to ensure the marketplace has enough influencers on board, and we provide the right influencers to the brand, let them connect, get the work done, make some traction. So that's our primary goal.
So for an influencer who's watching right now, what's the criteria and how he or she can join the platform? Is it as easy as just logging in and maybe creating an account and submitting the documents? I think your criteria on PickMyAd is 25,000 subs if you have 25,000 or more.
Yep. So 25,000 plus followers and subscribers any influencer has can directly join. Like currently we have no constraint at all. Actually, any influencer can onboard. They can link their channel, but they won't be able to create slot if they don't have 25,000 plus influencers. They will be put on hold, and once they reach 25,000, we will send them a notification. You are ready. You are eligible to onboard the platform, and it's very simple process. We don't even collect passwords, so it's all OTP based. So every influencer or brand that is onboarding, an OTP will be sent to WhatsApp. So they just have to put the OTP. So just to make it much safer, because the brand or the influencer, the influencer provided sensitive information like their pricing and all, right? So to avoid that, like they have to provide their OTP, I mean their WhatsApp number, to which we'll send the OTP, and they just put the OTP and log in, log out. So that's a process we have. It's very simple, just 2-3 steps. They'll be able to create their profile and configure the category, their channel, the language, the communication language. So basic information we will collect with a user-friendly UI UX.
Great. And moving forward, do you also have a plan to, standardize the rates? Because I was talking to a couple of influencer marketing agency owners, and they were really hassled because a lot of times the rates are so up and down based on the same number of followers, same number of views, and it's so they were working on a way to standardize rates like you have in the news channels, right? Based on TRP, there's a certain slab for a rate, right? You get paid so much in advertising. So is that also in the pipeline, or do you believe in giving the influencers a choice to determine their own rates?
I would prefer to let the influencer decide their price, because they work really hard to make the content and to gain the influencers. They come up with the creative ideas and things, so it's their product, right? So it's their rights to keep their price. Still, understanding the pricing difficulties, we are planning to provide them a suggestion, because there are situations at which the influencer really don't know how much they need to charge.
Right.
It's not like they blindly charge. Sometimes they think, okay, they can charge this much, but they really don't understand the market at times. So we are planning to provide them an option when they enter their price. We will help them with a suggestion saying that based on their channel's performance, we analyze that and tell them, okay, this is the amount we suggest based on the market availability. And if the influencer are okay with it, then they can pick that price, or still they can
Choose what they want.
choose their own pricing.
Great. I think that should be really helpful, because a lot of times when I speak to influencers for the brands that we work with, some people are kind of delusioned by those PR campaigns that Virat Kohli charges so much for one post, because they don't understand it's a PR campaign, and then they're like, if he's charging so much, then I should get paid so much, right? So I think the suggestion would at least help them get a realistic view. I think a lot of them are realistic, but some get delusioned by that.
They are like, we don't even target big time influencers at this point in time. Our target is to go with the macro level. People, that's why we built this as a marketplace, right?
Right.
You bring things to a market and you fix a price and you sell it,
Okay.
So that's the plan. Instead of having things at your own place and asking people to come to your place and then you start bargaining, you
Right.
come here and tell the price. It's everywhere is there, so you will definitely have in mind there is a competition, so I need to keep a price that is it works for the brand. So that way people will find at some point in time will understand or will realize how much they need to charge. So that's something will happen as we grow, as we make people use the platform.
Great. And as an entrepreneur, what do you think are the 3 things that an entrepreneur needs to build a successful company?
I don't think I'm that matured yet to say that I'm an entrepreneur or give advice on what an entrepreneur should do. But from my experience, I would say be patient. You have to do things ground level. You can't just say I'm the owner of the business, I will not do anything. You should go down, talk to people, understand what exactly they need. We started talking to YouTubers directly, teaching them ways, getting their appointments. And every influencer that we met physically, none of the influencers are on board the platform. So seeing that there are chances to get disappointed, and you can't make a decision to say this business is not going to work, right? So that is only one try you made. So maybe I'm talking my experience. So we have started different strategies, different ways of reaching people. Then we started getting references. So little by little, it's not something as a one-day game, right? It's a long-term process. So we are still strategizing and figuring out different ways. I think it's still it's a long way to be there.
Anything that you would like to
Yes.
tell the brands out there about the platform or the influencers?
Yeah. So to the brands, I would say PickMyAd is offering a safest platform where your money is being handled carefully, and then you get to select the influencer that you want to work instead of going under a compulsion of no other way than to select someone. And it's a transparent system where you see how much exactly is the influencer is charging, and we just charge the 10% as our service fee. And for the influencers, on the other hand, we are trying to remove a lot of pain points on your area where you just focus on creating contents. Bringing in paid promotions or paid collaboration sponsors is our pain, so we'll ensure that we provide you enough business, and we make sure that we all grow together.
Wonderful.
Fabulous.
And it was amazing talking to you, and I think I look forward to having this conversation 6-7 months down the line and seeing you enter into different states and seeing the response and how you've grown. I think that would be a wonderful conversation.
Yeah.
It's my pleasure, guys. Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity. And as you said, definitely we should do another video as we make more success. And thanks a lot for recognizing. And you guys are amazing. You are doing amazing.
Thank you so much, Prabhu.
This is splendid. Like, you guys are killing it. So
Wonderful.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for sharing all your thoughts, ideas, and strategies that have been working for you and future plans. All the very best for PickMyAd, and looking forward to speaking with you again 6 months down the line.
likewise, Sandhya. Thank you so much. Thanks a lot for your time. Thanks, Karan.